British were already up, brewing tea, cleaning weapons, preparing for the day. The Americans struggled awake, stiff and sore. Morrison noticed the difference in morning routines. The Americans were informal, chaotic, everyone doing their own thing, grabbing food when they could, checking weapons haphazardly. The British were structured. Tea first, always tea first, then weapons maintenance, then breakfast, then equipment check. It was the same every morning, Davies explained. Routine kept you sane. "Don't you ever just want to sleep in?" Chen asked, watching the British go through their morning ritual. "Sleep in and get killed," Davies said cheerfully. "Jerry loves a lazy morning. Attacks at dawn, he does. Every time. So we're up before dawn, ready for him. Disappoints him terribly." The day brought new challenges and new observations. Morrison's platoon was attached to a British company for a clearing operation through a series of farms. The British captain, different from Pemberton, this one named Ashford, briefed them on the plan. It was complex, involving multiple phases, precise timing, and careful coordination. The Americans were used to simpler plans. Go there, take that, hold it. The British approach was more elaborate. "Is it always this complicated?" Kowalski asked. "This is simple," Ashford said. "You should see a proper set-piece attack. Pages of orders, dozens of units, artillery timetables down to the minute." He saw Kowalski's expression. "Don't worry. You'll get used to it. Or you'll develop your own style. Americans usually do." The operation began at 800 hours. The British moved through the farms with methodical precision, clearing each building, checking each field, moving in bounds. The Americans, assigned to the right flank, tried to match the pace but kept wanting to move faster. Morrison found himself constantly having to slow his squad down, match the British rhythm. "Why are we going so slow?" Hayes complained. "We could be done by now." "Because they want to be alive when they're done," Morrison said. "Watch them, they don't take chances." It was true. The British assumed every building was defended, every hedgerow held in an ambush, every gate was booby-trapped. They checked everything, cleared everything, secured everything before moving on. It was slow, but by the time they'd cleared the farms, they'd found 3 German positions that would have caught a faster-moving force by surprise. During a break, Morrison talked with a British lieutenant named Thornton, a young officer who'd been at Dunkirk as a private and worked his way up through the ranks. "How do you stay patient?" Morrison asked. "How do you move this slow without going crazy?" Thornton smiled. "It's not slow to us. It's thorough. There's a difference." He lit a cigarette. "In 1940, we moved fast, tried to match the Germans' pace, got our arses handed to us at Dunkirk. After that, we learned. You can't out-German the Germans at Blitzkrieg, but you can be more careful, more methodical, more professional. That's our advantage now." "Doesn't it frustrate you, being so careful?" "Frustration gets you killed," Thornton said. "Patience keeps you alive. We've lost enough men learning that lesson. I'd rather you chaps learned it from watching us than from your own casualties." Morrison thought about Omaha Beach, about the men who'd rushed forward and been cut down, about the chaos and confusion. "Maybe you're right." "Of course I'm right. I'm British. We're always right." Thornton grinned. "That's a joke, by the way. We're not always right, but we've been doing this longer than you, so we've made more mistakes and learned more lessons. Take what works for you, ignore the rest." By mid-afternoon, the farms were cleared. The British had captured 12 German soldiers without losing a single man. The Americans had learned something about patience, about thoroughness, about the British way of war. It wasn't exciting, it wasn't glorious, but it worked. That evening, Morrison's platoon shared a bivouac with a British platoon in a captured German position. The British immediately began improving the position, typical, while the Americans collapsed. Also typical. But this time, Some of the Americans helped with the improvements, having learned that the British habit of constant preparation wasn't paranoia, but survival instinct. The British broke out their rations, and this time the Americans and British mixed together, sharing food and stories. Hayes traded his chocolate for British tinned pudding. Chen got a British soldier to explain cricket, understood nothing, but appreciated the effort. Morrison found himself talking with Davies about pre-war life, about families, about what they'd do after the war. "You married?" Davies asked. "Engaged. Girl back home in Richmond." "You?" "Wife and 2 kids in Cardiff. Haven't seen them in 3 years." Davies pulled out a battered photograph, showed Morrison, a woman and 2 children, smiling. "War's hard on families." "You think it'll end soon?" Davies looked at the darkening sky. "We're in France now, that's something. But Jerry's not beaten yet. Long way to Berlin." He put the photograph away carefully. "But we'll get there, you lot and us together. We're good at different things, but together, we're strong." "What are we good at?" Morrison asked. "You? Aggression, speed, firepower. You hit hard and fast. We're good at holding, at defending, at the slow grind. Different strengths." Davies smiled. "Means Jerry has to deal with both styles. Keeps him confused." A British soldier started singing, some music hall song Morrison didn't recognize, and others joined in. The Americans listened, bemused by the lyrics about a lady from Brighton and her unfortunate choice of hate. Then Hayes started singing something American, and the British listened with equal bemusement. Neither group understood the other's songs, but somehow it didn't matter. Reg Cooper came over, sat down beside Morrison. "You lot are all right," he said. "Bit loud, bit chaotic, but all right." "You're not so bad yourselves," Morrison said. "Bit too fond of tea, bit too calm under fire, but not bad." "Too calm under fire, is there such a thing?" "When you're brewing tea while someone's shooting at you, yeah, there's such a thing." Reg laughed. "Fair point, but the tea helps, I'm telling you. Keeps you human. Reminds you there's a world beyond the war." He pulled out his cigarettes, offered one to Morrison. "You know what I think? I think you Yanks will win this war for us. You've got the numbers, the equipment, the spirit, but I think we'll teach you how to survive it." "Fair trade." Morrison took the cigarette, let Reg light it. "Fair trade," he agreed. The next morning brought orders to move out. The British were heading east toward Caen, the Americans west toward Cherbourg. The alliance was splitting up, each force moving to its own objectives. Morrison's platoon lined up to move out, and the British platoon they'd spent 2 days with came over to say goodbye. Davies shook hands with Kowalski. "Good luck, Lieutenant. Keep your head down." "You too, Sergeant." Reg found Morrison, handed him something wrapped in paper. "For the road." Morrison unwrapped it. "Tea. A full tin of British Army tea. I don't know how to make it. You'll figure it out. Hot water, tea, bit of milk if you've got it. Bit of sugar if you're lucky. Drink it when things get rough. Reminds you you're still human." Reg stuck out his hand. "See you in Berlin, Morrison." Morrison shook his hand. "See you in Berlin, Cooper."